Hello, gorgeous. When I reflect back on my 20s, there were just some tentpole things that I should have known or would have been nice to have known. And when I think about it, they just would have helped me to step into my 30s more set up for success and just to step into that era more confidently than I was when I actually turned 30. So there were just things that I went through that had I known or given more credence to, it would have made my 30s a lot easier, a lot less complicated. And these are things that I tell my own daughters who are now in their 20s. So I thought it would be only fitting that I shared them here. Let me tell you, I was a hard head, and I just think back now, when you're in your 20s, you think you've got it all figured out. Because of the internet and all the information and resources out there, a lot of young women are a lot smarter than I was and my peers were at that age. Give yourselves a pat on the back for that. My daughters, they're much smarter young ladies than I was when I was their age, and that just makes me proud. Part of it is because of the way I raised them. I always just tried to be honest with them about everything, not sheltering them from things and life experiences and gatekeeping stuff and trying to protect them. You ask them, they would probably say I was overprotective, but there was just a lot of things that I did share with them just because I wanted them to know. So without further ado, before I get to rambling, because I will, let's just get right into it so that you don't have to learn the hard way like I did. So the first thing every young lady should know before 30 is financial literacy. I know talking about financial literacy can be boring sometimes. It's not my favorite topic, but it really is important, especially as you age and going into those next stages in life, just to be prepared for hardships, rainy days, and for aging. We're kind of conditioned to just work, pay bills on repeat. I realized that that's different because when I was younger, we didn't have the internet, you didn't have all these resources that you have now. With a click of a button, you can get tons of information about stocks and saving and investments and all of these different things, how to make multiple sources of income. It's still just important just to know how to avoid debt and take care of your credit. Because I can just remember my first credit card and just burning through it. It felt like free money. Let me go shopping, let me do this. And what the smarter thing would have been to do just to work on building my credit and only use that credit card for expenses that I was going to pay anyway and just paying off the balance every month. But that was education that I didn't receive, and I had to learn the hard way. Let me tell you, I learned the hard way. When we're in our 20s, we don't think about, being 60, 70 and planning for our retirement, and it really is important to plan for, especially the trajectory of how things are going. Pensions aren't what they used to be. Most people that are retiring are figuring out the hard way that they're not able to support themselves and are having to go back into the workforce at 65, 70, and then are having a hard time because employers don't want to hire them. I worked corporate jobs, and there were retirement plans, and they would give those little presentations full of information about investing, but in retirement seems so far away, and I always just had this false sense of time, okay, yeah, I'll get to that later. I was a single mom as well, so I was trying to maintain my household and pay bills and do all of that stuff. So that's definitely something that I would recommend really paying attention to, is setting yourself up with a good retirement plan for when you get older. Life is long and short at the same time. If you truly want rest at 65, yeah, you might want to start planning for it in your 20s. And the second thing that every woman should know before 30 is that no one is coming to save you. Hate to break the news to you, no one is coming to save you. No one is coming to save you to magically make your life better or to make you happy. Friends, a job, a partner, none of that. There's this societal pressure to find a husband and get the white picket fence and live a soft life. And those are all great. I'm an advocate for soft life because we've been living hard for just way too damn long. So, if you can do your soft life, do your soft life. But we can't just rely on solely that for our happiness, because happiness is going to come from within. I just remember being in my 20s and being in relationships that I had no business being in and trying to make them work way longer than I should have, and feeling just absolutely miserable, but still sticking through it, thinking, oh, things are going to change and we just put time and this is going to make me happy. This is the goal in life. And it really wasn't. And I had like an awakening right before I turned 30 that that wasn't what was going to make me happy. I thought that this was the things that I needed, the things that would bring me joy and make me feel complete in life. But it wasn't until I did the internal work within myself and learned to love myself and go after the things that I wanted to do, put me first, that was where I found my fulfillment and my happiness in life. Not from all of these external things and societal pressures didn't make me happy. And then the third thing that every woman should know before 30 is how to set boundaries and keep them. That keep them part is key. It is crucial. I just remember in my 20s like thinking that I was setting boundaries and not really understanding what setting boundaries was. I was letting it be known my expectations from relationships or complaining about it or talking about stuff, but that wasn't enough. It wasn't about letting a person know your boundaries. Now, hindsight 2020, you let a person know what your boundary is one time, because I feel like everybody should be given a chance. Like nobody's gonna know your boundaries if you don't tell them. And I've read some things and they'll tell you like, you know, you don't need to vocalize your boundaries. Just somebody does something that it doesn't fit within your boundaries, then just to walk away. But I always feel like you should give a person a chance to redeem the situation. In my 20s, like I wasn't standing on business. It was that action behind setting that boundary that when someone crossed the boundary or broke it, it was on me to walk away from that situation, not to just keep talking about it and arguing about it and having conversations about it. Part of setting that boundary is knowing when to walk away. I probably should have named this step as knowing when to walk away. And then just knowing that like in your 20s, people will take advantage of your youth and your inexperience. And that can come from jobs, from family, relationships, romantic partners. If they can, they will. And it's not always conscious. Sometimes it's subconscious, especially when it comes from your peers, because they don't always know that they're taking advantage of situations. But it's just on you to be more cognizant of this is something that can happen and it's probably happening. And just to, you know, stand on business. Like I said, if you need to cut people off, then you gotta cut people off. Sometimes that's the only way for people to learn, is for them to not be privy to your life. A book that I've read like a couple of times, and I'll leave it in the comments, but it's a book by Nedra. I think it's Nedra or Nedra. I hope I'm not butchering her name. But the title is Set Boundaries and Find Peace. So if you want more information about how to set boundaries, because I feel like it really is a skill that's like some people are born to just set boundaries and walk away from situations. But a lot of us are not born with that skill, and it's a learned thing. We have traumas that mask different ways that we handle things. We have personality types, we have attachment styles, all these things that go into play with how we handle situations and how we set boundaries or have lack thereof. So that book is a really good book. I would highly recommend it if you feel like you're struggling with setting boundaries and people pleasing. So that brings us to number 4 of things that every woman should know before 30, and that is to take advantage of your youth to elevate. Because let me tell you, when you get older, don't nobody care. Don't nobody care. It's the hard truth, but when you get older, don't nobody care. People will pay a premium for your youth. If you're a content creator, advertisers will pay for your youth. They have something that they're trying to sell, and they want to sell that product for as long as they can. So the greater chance for them to sell that product for as long as possible is to target younger people, so that that product grows with them. So take advantage of it. If you're a content creator and you have a good following, charge top dollar, because they'll probably pay it. Then I've just found that people are more willing to help you when you're young. And I wish that that was something I would have taken advantage of when I was in my 20s. There were so many programs. I mean, when you're younger, there are educational programs, all kinds of other grants, there are healthcare programs, assistance, you can be on your parents' healthcare, just all the things. If you're like me, when I was young, I just wanted to be independent and be an adult, and that meant like I moved out really young, and then I wasn't on my mom's insurance anymore. I just wanted to be free to do whatever I wanted to do. And I know a lot of kids are not like that because they're seeing that adulting is hard. I'll tell you, adulting is hard. So take advantage of all the things as long as you can. Not paying healthcare if you don't have to, education, scholarships, grants, all of that stuff. Take advantage of it while you can. Any advice that people want to give you, mentorship, take advantage of all of it. Then on to number 5 of things that every woman should know before 30 is the art of not giving a The things that matter are everything, but everything doesn't matter. That's one thing that I wish I would have grasped when I was in my 20s, was just not caring what people thought about me, not caring how I looked, not caring about if I looked silly or naive or stupid. Things happen. You're gonna bump your head. You're gonna have hard times. Everybody goes through hardships. Those are just the things that are gonna make you stronger and make you better. Without hardship, how are you going to grow? I recommended on another video. I don't know if it's out before this one. I've been recording stuff, so I don't know what order they're gonna come out. But the book, The Art of Not Giving a by Mark Manson, is a really good book to read, and it's just about prioritizing the things that you care about, because some things are valid to care about and some things are just going to be in your way, and you want to be able to not let too many things get in your way and just really focus on the things that matter, because as you get older, the things that you care about in your 20s you're not going to care about in your 40s, 50s, 60s. I mean, I don't know, I'm not in my 50s or 60s. Things that meant the whole world to me in my 20s mean nothing to me now. And lastly, number 6 on our list of things every woman should know before 30 is how to execute goals. Let me tell you, procrastination is nasty work. Before you know it, you'll be 30, 40s, because life comes at you fast. Life is long, but it's also short at the same time. And if you procrastinate on things and just keep letting, I'll do it tomorrow, before you know it, tomorrow is here. And all of those things that you could have gotten done are, not done. We always have to remember that the way that our life is today is a result of what we did yesterday. So you don't want to be in tomorrow, and because you procrastinated right now, there's not going to be any progress in your life. So it is key to learn how to execute goals, not only plan. When I was young, I used to write down goals and write down plans, but the key is executing them, actually putting them into actionable steps and getting things done. And the one thing that I learned, and I know it's all over the internet now, it's very well known, but it was something that I actually learned at a corporate job. At the time when I learned it, which was, I don't know, 15, 20 years ago. I'm aging myself. But I was in leadership training, if I didn't say already, but I was in leadership training with my employer, and we learned SMART goals, and those are just goals that are specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and timely. And that was a game changer for me, because I was just I've always done vision boards and writing down goals and the things that I wanted, dreams and stuff like that, but I didn't have that practical information of how to actually execute on those goals until I learned it in corporate America. So now when I have a goal, I know how to actually put it into actionable steps and actually execute and finish the goal and have success, because a goal without a plan is just a dream, and you want your dreams to become realities, and in order for them to become realities, then you have to have SMART goals and actions behind it. So I hope this was helpful. While I was doing this, I got to thinking about other things that women should know before 30, things that you should have and things that you should do. So if you're interested in seeing videos like that, just let me know in the comments. So if you found any value here, please like the video, share, subscribe, do all the things. I have a whole slate of content that I'm planning, and I would love for you to go on this journey with me. And if you have any questions, leave that in the comments as well. I'd be happy to help in any way that I can. And thank you for watching. Bye.